So yeah, let's go down the line, starting with Camilla. What do you think about killing people?
Yeah, I'm proposing
That's
every
a
second session we.
multifaceted question. Like killing people, like let's see, killing others, like that is multifaceted. Is that like because that could be others as in all other than yourself, or it could be others that is not part of your family. It could be others
I think the
that is
spirit
not
of the
part of your
question.
crew. Though, let's see, killing like enemies doesn't really bother her since, well, in the end, we're just animals. Killing friends, well, would be sad, but if there was a good reason, well, she would get over it. Killing family? Nah, that's not. That's maybe the only thing she don't want to do.
Cool. Svenja, we can go down the line.
I think culturally, killing in defense or as punishment for breaking the various laws and codes of society, she would just consider to be that's the way things are being done. Personally, killing people or humanoids, I guess if we're being inclusive in a sense, personally killing humanoids, I don't think she enjoys it. And I don't think that I think that she would prefer to avoid it if possible. For her, in other words, for her, it's depending on, it's a necessary evil. It's something that has to be done because of violation of codes or protection of self or loved ones or something like that. And she would do it if needs to be done.
Yeah.
So I guess
Good
similar to
answer.
Carmilla.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the Viking culture and like the whole idea of Valhalla and everything does add quite a bit to to the thought of what it means. But yeah, murder is still murder in Viking culture. What about Jormund?
Well, it's not something he's really gonna be. There'll be a hard making.
Sorry, if my mic is open, I can't close it right now.
Yeah, no worries. It's just hard to think when I'm hearing. Yeah, he's not gonna go out of his way to kill people. He's not a murder hobo. But if it's something like in this situation, it's probably just more of a chore to him. But it's not out of the possibility that Jormund could hunt just fucking people for sport. Very niche circumstances, but I could imagine it happening.
Well, it's bounty hunting, kind of doing that.
Mikkel?
I think Mikkel is okay with killing others if it means either protecting someone dear to him or protecting his honor. Although he does not have any qualms with let's say killing someone for bounty. Because I guess that's kind of upholding the law. Since surely must have done something wrong to have a bounty on him. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's generally true. I mean, it depends who's put the bounty on them, I suppose.
That is true.
Might be an assassination, but that would be them trying to trick you. So
But yeah, I think that's Miguel's answer.
For Gorm, his killing is okay within reason. I think it will have to be pretty extreme. I don't think it's even possible for him to just go around randomly and killing. I think that's about it.
For Ursula, I'd say in general pretty okay. Like killing them in battle honorably, they go to Valhalla. It's great. Nothing wrong with that. She wouldn't really want to kill someone dishonorably. Like she wouldn't want to poison someone almost ever. And as far as judicial executions, like them, but sometimes they're necessary.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, my Discord's completely frozen. I'm trying to start the music, but I am on the server. So, yes, I will do that in a second. But who's got a recap for us tonight?
I'm happy to step in for the bits that I could hear with bad connection and dropping in and out. Essentially, at the end of or the start of last session, we had killed the dragon. We were heading back into the cave. Truss left us and said he will repay us when he leaves. When you get to Jotun's Crossing, giant owl flew down the middle tunnel. And we came to the conclusion that the dragon may have been looking after many creatures in the forest. We went back to the cave, to the treasure hoard, the pool. Ursula had a chat with the water elemental, who seemed to be a little bit more intelligent than usual and was quite curious about us. There were some trinkets and some treasure we got, and a fantastic loot that Svenja started fiddling with and playing with. The screeches continued through the night, the panic screeches, but quieted down. We heard some scratching as Mikkel stood watch, and that was essentially our night there. We did pick up the gold mask, looked at it, Gorm investigated it. There's some runes in the back of it, and it looks like it might be linked to the drawer where the Valkyrie may have picked it up during the battle, and there might be something around this necromantic stuff that's going on around it linked to the mask, but we couldn't read the runes. We went back, harvested the dragon, tried to sneak down the caves to see what happened to the screeching. Well, Svenja did. Curiosity that killed the bard. But she came across an air elemental and essentially did the very brave thing and turned around and ran. We started traveling north again, came across a cavern where there was a dwarf and a human, a sort of a dilapidated house. Dwarf and a human hiding from pirates that were hunting them. Gore made us a lovely meal of dragon steaks and ale. I don't know if we took a rest, but we were essentially waiting there for the ninjas to pitch up. This was kind of in the middle of the night that all of this happened, and we ended the session in the middle of the battle with the ninjas, where they'd killed the human. The dwarf had managed to escape. We'd killed one of the ninjas. Gorm was in bad shape, and some of us were badly injured, and that's where we rejoined, I think, the session. I don't know if I've missed anything in there.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty accurate, except you have managed to kill 3 of their weaker members, and there are 3 ninjas left. Yormund had just summoned chains from the fire to wrap them around one of the ninjas who's standing on the table, as he has been restrained. But Svenja, you would have seen that the dwarf escaped through the hole in the wall in the room that you are in, and you've kind of been blocking that door. But I think the only thing you really might have missed last week, because it was just like one round as far as I saw, but I'm not sure when you actually disappeared, is that Gorm went down and he is currently unconscious, bleeding out onto the floor. The ninjas, there was a bit of confusion as to whether or not they were running away, but the three that have survived do not seem that eager to be getting away. And where we rejoin you now is, as you said, in the middle of that combat. Is Mikil, have you rolled for initiative?
Yes.
Okay, are you on the combat tracker?
Just after Jomond.
Oh, you rolled low. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's okay. We will then kick things off at the top of the round with one of the ninjas. As this ninja has just been blasted outside after Gorm's attack, I think, or who blasted him outside? Yeah.
I did.
How did he take you down at the same? I can't even remember what
I
happened.
think
But
it was the
either
one
way,
on the table.
Didn't he throw a shuriken or something as a reaction?
yeah, it was the other guy. But that's right. He's sort of getting up in the snow, and he's going to look kind of surprised that they were not expecting this room full of people, and he's going to call to one of the other ones in a language that you don't understand. They are speaking like Kigani. There are certain words that are similar to common, as it is common to them, but you hear them shouting back and forth. And I'd like everyone that's here to please give me a perception check or a history check if you want to see if you understand that little bits of language, because it's not actually a specific language, it's just their version of common.
I see the dice gods have not blessed me today.
That's right. Get get all the bad rolls out early. Okay, so Yormund, you, because of your father being a merchant, you've heard some of these things, and after speaking to your father and hearing that he had been robbed, you recognize that these might be the same people that robbed him. As you hear one of them going, "This one's dead. I don't know what happened to the dwarf." And he says, "Well, look inside. If he's gotten away, take these ones instead." And he is going to start to move forward. Gorm is down, so he's going to make his way into the room and see you, Svenja, as you are blocking the only door that they have not checked yet. So he is going to run in, and as he's running, you're going to see him drop what looks like a dagger that seems to be on the end of like a chain, and he's going to, or more of a rope, I suppose. But as he drops this rope dart, he is going to swing it at you, and he's going to attempt a chain pull. So let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, a strength saving throw, please. The lag. I can't.
Uh-oh.
Wait, why did? Sorry, I'm lagging a lot. Why did Gorm just go to full health?
Yeah, I like entered my character sheet in the forge and it just healed me. I didn't touch anything.
Huh.
Maybe it connected to your D&D Beyond sheet.
Yeah, might be.
Yeah, it must have updated somewhere. But that with an 8 on that strength save, Svenja, you are going to let's see. I've already forgotten how this works. But he throws this chain at you, and he throws like a rope dart at you. So if he hits, he's going to be able to pull you. Sorry, you were supposed to roll that before you rolled your strength. That is a hit. It should be prompting you for a reaction. Are you on the server today, Sven?
Yes, I am. I'm not going to take any reactions to that. Can't wait to have more spell slots.
Okay. Oh man, that was like max damage that he just did there as well. 8 points of piercing damage as this thing impales you, and then he pulls you 10 feet towards him. And this is where people from Kiga get real dangerous, because that is going to be his action. And then, because this is a combo move, he's going to do a bonus action, and you're not going to like it. So
Now that I
You're
know
a
what I should have done,
descendere is what he's
I
gonna
should
do.
have done a cutting words. Anyway, please, let's see.
I'm like looking for the move, and then I realized I had your token select. Sorry, that we'll have to bear with the lag a bit tonight.
To be fair, that's that smoke effect going on here, and it's.
It's just looping.
I imagine that's
I knew,
stacking.
I knew one of you was going to complain about it. How many D&D games have you been a part of where there's animated effects to represent something on the map?
I just
Just
thought
stop it.
maybe that would help.
All right, so yeah, it should dissipate over the next round, but currently you guys are still in the smoke.
Oh, it's still okay.
Yeah, it's it's slow motion. It's a representation, but so as he does this, as he pulls you in towards him with the rope dart, he lifts his blade, and he is going to use falling blade as he performs a single powerful downward slash that you see it slicing just through anything in its path. It's quite an obvious attack, but because you've been pulled in on the chain, he makes this attack with advantage. And yeah, it is real bad. So what is his? Sorry, I haven't set these features up properly, so I'm just going to roll the short sword. Oh, that is actually right. You roll a normal attack, and then it adds additional damage. But he makes this with advantage. Okay, that is going to hit. Svenja, you do still have your reaction. Are you going to try and do anything, or is anyone going to try and do anything as they see this attack?
She will use cutting words against it and sort of say something weird, coward, or something like that to him. And what do? I need to roll a bardic inspiration thingy, which is what, a d6. I'm not going to look for that.
1d6 at this level.
So he subtracts 4 from the attack roll.
Okay, that is going to bring it to a 20.
Holy shit. That barely hits.
Okay, yeah, if All right. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Sven. So, first of all, you take the normal damage. Which is already
What?
basically a killing blow. No, wait. I think that may have rolled wrong. Hold on. Did it roll the extra on top? No, that's right. So 14 points of damage there brings you down. But that is just the regular damage. And on top of that, he gets an additional 5d10 and you take 3 ranks of bleeding. So I'm going to see if this is an instant kill, but otherwise you're going to lose 1 additional death save.
That
Svenja,
would
how
be
many hit
instant
points
kills.
do you
18.
Holy shit. Okay, so do any of you have any reactions? I'm just asking now because otherwise this is a killing blow, as he has just pulled her in and this sword has hit better than you've ever seen anyone swing a weapon.
I
No.
am but a mere fighter.
I only have Featherfall prepared. That's my only reaction.
Shit, I should have used silvery barb, shouldn't I? I don't know if that would have made any difference there. Okay.
I will say, because this is such a pivotal moment, and your reaction with your cutting words was, it's like you've seen how hard these guys are hitting. I will, yeah, actually, now that I look at it, the disadvantage probably wouldn't make much of a difference because
No,
he
so
got
what he would do,
I think cutting words can be applied to the damage, which would make it a non-killing blow.
Makes an attack.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that is
what,
true.
what silvery barbs would have done is made him re-roll the advantage roll and force him to use the second, so it essentially negates any previous rolls. But okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
though
if you,
what Camilla's saying is actually possible. I will allow you to have, because it is in on his same attack. Basically, this is a combo with a finisher, and your cutting words can bring that down so that you have lost a death saving throw, but you are not instantly sliced in half. Because you've
okay.
also got the lowest HP, and I feel like that can't be right that your HP is that low. Everyone else has got way more. Did you roll really badly on HP?
Probably. I mean, it's just like a level 3 bard.
Yeah, but even the like Ursula's a sorcerer, and she's even got at least 20.
Yeah, about 20.
Did you dump your con stats?
No, con is +1. Hey, let me just check in the D&D Beyond history roll. I think I may have rolled badly.
Yeah, maybe. But also, this is why you need those Mjolnir necklaces that Ursula was talking about. But yeah, as he just full on scorpion pulls you in and slashes it with the scars on your back, there is now a nice fresh one right down from your shoulder to your hip, just going right across your chest as you fall unconscious and blood spatters onto the ground. That is his turn, taking us on to your turn next, Svenja. Oh, but because he did use these things, he took damage in order to do that. I forgot. That's how these attacks work. So he actually spent some hit points. But then it takes us to your turn, Sven.
Okay. See,
Why have
I
you
just
gone
opened
full
D&D
health?
Beyond, and it's just put their health up. So opening D&D Beyond is what puts the health up too.
Yeah,
So,
it's obviously because it's automatically updating.
okay, so put me back down to 0 if you don't mind. So this is my first turn for death saving throw. And
Okay, staying dead, it's doing all sorts of things. So we'll have to give it a sec. So there we go. So you've lost one death saving throw because of that that massive damage. But it is now your turn, so you will roll a death save.
Okay, is there a place on the character sheet to do this, or do I just roll a 1d20 in chat?
There is a place on the character sheet. It is when you're down. There should be a skull somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's usually over your portrait on your. Otherwise, I think you can do it in. You should be able to track it anyway. So yeah, you can just roll the d20.
Okay, so what is the DC here? Because I took what? 36 points of damage, so DC 80.
There's no DC on death saves. It's just you need to meet a 10 to
So
success.
a 10 or above is a success, and a nat 20 you'd be up with 1 hit point. A nat 1 would be 2 failed death saves, but a 14 is a pass. So you've got 1 pass, 1 fail.
Okay, so we don't do the 10 or half damage, whichever is bigger in this game.
That's
Happy with that.
concentration checks.
Okay. Fantastic. Super happy with that. Right, one save.
Okay, nice. And then, sorry, I'm just applying the damage he took to himself in order to pull that off. Okay, cool. So that takes us then on to Ursula.
Oh boy, I don't like this guy. I'm going to use a quicken spell Witch Bolt on him.
Dude.
On the one that just attacked Svenja.
Yes. Oh well. And then a Ray of Frost. Man, I cannot hit anything this combat.
They do have high ACs.
That's all I can do.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Oh.
Sorry, everything froze there for a little bit. Gorm, did you just fail a death save there?
I did.
Oh, okay, unlucky. So
Can I
onto the
describe what
ninjas.
happens? Like you did
Sorry,
in.
say again.
Can I describe like what happens like you did in the Giga campaign? Like in the
Yeah.
on the other side.
So sorry, the lag's distracting me. But as you, I will say that I'm not sure if we mentioned this before, but I don't like the idea that you're completely unconscious. You are just unable to move. Like, you are aware of your surroundings, and if you want to speak, I will allow that during your. But I mean, that's for dramatic, like last word kind of things, as you are unable to act or do anything. So Gorm, what is it? What does it look like as you are lying there dying, blood pooling around you?
No, that's not what I meant. I wanted to say that like when he's unconscious, he's like standing on the beach where you got the vision, and in front of him is Elson. So failing like the first death save, he gets smacked by Elson onto the ground.
Oh shit! Yes, yeah. You and Elson just having this fight on the sands. I love it. Yeah. So as Elson is standing over you in this vision, he is again just berating you for being chosen, and we will see on the next turn whether that fight goes in his way or yours. As we go to the ninja, he is going to likewise look at Yormund and just give a bit of a chuckle as he says, "Oh, you think you can hold me? Come on, let's see what you've got." And he is going to use his action to try and escape from the shackles, as he is going to use a ninjutsu escape technique in order to use his sleight of hand instead of the athletics or acrobatics.
It would have just been a strength saving throw. It is a
A
saving
strength
throw.
save, okay. So yeah, the effect of this technique allows him to replace um, getting out of a grapple with sleight of hand.
Oh yeah, he does take 2d6 fire. Thank you.
Is that at the start of his?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so roll that for me.
Uh, there we go. 8 damage. And then he just has to beat a measly 13.
Yeah, strength is not his strong suit. That's why he's using this technique. But
That's fair.
so he will make a sleight of hand to beat a DC 13.
Rolling that one for me, fuck it.
Okay, so he manages to get out of the restraints, but that is at the end of his turn, right?
Um. Yeah, the target can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turns, banishing the shackles on a success.
Yeah, so it breaks out of the shackles, but that's its turn. It's used its whole turn to do that, and as you see, he sort of just works the chains in his hand, and you see them come undone like a magic trick as they just recoil and retract back into the fire, and then he stands there, seemingly laughing, as outside you hear that guy shouting that the one outside is dead. And we go to his turn. Okay, as he is going to yeah, the smoke at this point on his turn, because that was when it went off, is going to oh yeah, I'll try to get rid of that just now. But he's going to target you again, Ursula, with a dart. Because he's throwing this through a window and sort of into the last of that smoke, I will give him disadvantage on this. Oh, it's on the wrong turn again. That's a 20 to hit.
They're all rolling so well.
I know, I really have had some unusual luck in this fight. I do apologize on behalf of the dice gods, but let's see the demo. There we go. They heard me. Give me a 1. Okay, so that's 5 points of piercing damage. As you see, this hits you in one of your pressure points, like right behind your knee, and you just drop down as you are nearly taken down, but you are able to survive this hit. And he is going to then use the rest of his turn to move. And that's oh yeah, and his bonus action to dash. Okay, so it takes us on to your guys' turn finally. As Camilla, you're up.
I
Yes.
should be able to handle this
Yeah.
one here, so.
Yeah, he already has laid a plan.
Okay.
I'm going over to Svenja, seeing her bleeding and is kneeling down, considering, should I refresh myself on her? But instead, I pull out a healing potion. Is it in my hand? I pour it into her, which is the action, and I even have any bonus. No.
Careful, I
Wait
think
a
you've got-
second. Wait a second. Yes, let's set it up in case he tries to run. And then I place a hunter's mark on the guy German is fighting in case the guy tries to run away.
Okay, nice. So, yeah, roll that healing. Just make sure Sven is targeted as you mark the ninja.
Yeah. We and yeah, that's how I end my turn. Let me just see. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you see Svenja is still badly injured, like her shoulder is barely even attached there. So you can see this horrible wound, but she gasps through bloodied breath. She is alive. Yormund, you're up.
Well, let's try and.
Oh no. A lot of blood in this room. Shepard's getting a bit wild.
All right, let's read through this. Oh wait, actually, oh no, it would have failed.
I mean, it might not be so bad. He did have this guy by the balls last round, so.
But still, when a companion enters, blah blah blah, nearest creature that they can sense and attack. So that's. Would it be reasonable to say he would still attack the ninja?
Yeah, he's already
Okay.
attacking him. That makes perfect sense. But I will say you are also in danger from Shepard now because it's pretty close to you as well.
That's fair. Alright, so. Just a normal signature attack. Right.
Oh, actually, it does say here, if at least one ally and one enemy are nearest and equidistant to the companion, the caregiver's player rolls any die, and on an odd number, it attacks the ally. On an even number, it attacks the enemy. So I will give you that, but I'll say you can roll twice, and if one of them is even, you can attack on that basically, like with advantage.
Alright. Well, I mean, I can just do this.
Yeah, so he's gonna turn and bite you, but you can roll it one more time and just the advantages.
Ah,
Okay, he attacks the guy.
yeah. So let's see. Well, this is an interesting conundrum. Am I still considered Shepard's ally?
Yeah, you
Okay.
are. He can't tell who's who right now. He's just snarling and like almost foaming at the mouth. You can see his eyes are just going blood red.
Lovely. Well, that's 10 damage. And see if he goes prone.
So actually, as Shepard grabs at him, you see he like is laughing, and then he sort of forgot about the wolf, who goes for him, and he's going to use a reaction.
Ooh.
As Shepard grabs at him and tries to pin him down, you see another sort of explosion of smoke as he goes. Man, they don't work. Spent so much time setting these up, but so this guy, you see as Shepard bites him. Oh, it did work. As Shepard bites him, he like crunches down, and then you see that Shepard has got a, a piece of wood, possibly like part of that broken crate over there, that is now in his mouth, and he just chomps right through the wood that splinters, and you just see this explosion of smoke as the ninja disappears from where he was standing. And yeah, I'm not sure if you can see him from where you are, but he has basically, it was like a misty step as a reaction, and he is not knocked prone, but he did take the damage.
Well, I'm just reading over the rampage rules to see if there's anything he would do, or Shepard would do with his movement, because he still kind of has that.
I think the rampage says he takes his movement and then attacks at the end of that. So because
So
the guy
just
was right in
consider
front of him,
that.
he didn't.
Yep. Alright. Oh well. I'll just take the opportunity to now swarm this guy. And would this now count as flanking?
Not where you're standing there, but if you stood over Gorm's body, you would be flanking.
That's not a movement I could just.
Yeah, so you have to be able to draw a line between you, the creature you're attacking, and an ally. So yeah, I mean, you could easily with your movement just step over Gorm to make the attack, and then step back to where you were trying to go originally. But you're kind of big at the moment. So it's easy to step over unconscious Gorm.
Alright. Lovely.
There we go.
And another, I think, 1d6 for Giant Smite. I do have a question.
Yes.
No, that doesn't say attack roll. No, I was just wondering if I could add another +2 to that roll because strength modifier, but no. Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Okay. Then, yeah. Sorry,
Actually,
I have tried to delete the smoke, but it is kind of stuck.
quick question. Can I give a potion as a bonus action, or is that a full action?
Bonus
It's an
action
action
to give and to drink is a bonus action.
Yeah, so on yourself is a bonus, on someone else action.
Next time, Gorham. Don't worry.
Let's hope there is a next time.
How many
As-
essays are you down?
I failed once, and that's it.
Okay, good. You should be fine.
Don't worry,
I mean-
I got natural 20 next turn. It's fine.
Okay. Whoever
No worries
gets
for
there
nothing.
first.
So, Yorman, was that your turn, or are you?
Yes, no, that was
stepping
my
back?
turn. That's my turn.
Okay, cool. So you're just kind of protecting Gorm a little bit there
Yeah.
as we go to Meekhill, and yeah, sorry you weren't here last session, but chaos has broken out. What are you going to do?
Fucking ninjas. I'm gonna target Usla and cast Shield of Faith.
Brother, he's nearly dead. You can just get him right there.
Well, that's a bonus action. I'm gonna hit him right after.
Okay.
So
So
that's
who are you targeting with shield?
Usla. Yeah.
Oh, cool. It does it actually. Cool.
Right, cool. And then I'm gonna move over here. Does this count as flanking? Or do I need to get over Gorm's body as well?
I mean, if you
If
go
you
up one,
step next to Svenja, you'd be flanking. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, you guys are pretty much surrounding him.
Alright.
But yeah.
there's also two of them at the bottom now, so that might be a better.
And then let's. I don't want to use my ability. That's a bad idea.
Just make him dead.
Or. And then damage.
Okay. As you hit him, he is going to do the same thing his buddy just did, as he's not looking good. And he takes that damage, but he is also going to disappear in a puff of smoke.
Do they still take damage?
Yeah, they take the full damage, but
Oh,
they can teleport
I-
like a misty step.
I do have
So
an
you are
addendum.
still hitting him.
I do have an addendum then for that other one Shepard attacked earlier. He takes half of his ferocity, so that 11. I don't know if it's rounded up or down. He
Usually
takes 6
rounded
or
down.
5.
Always
Okay,
rounded
then
down with damage.
He'll take 5 then from that. Sorry.
Okay. Let me just see. Yeah, still not quite enough, but almost.
Everything, every bit helps.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, that he has disappeared, but he's looking real bad. He's like just falls into the snow. You hear a cough and a splutter on the outside of the main.
That is true. Fortunately, I don't have any right. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. This cough and splutter is pretty loud, and you will hear you'll hear a voice from the outside going, "Oh, well, look at you. You don't look so good anymore, do you? Come here, you bastard!" And you'll hear the dwarf from earlier running through the snow. It seems he hasn't completely abandoned you, or maybe he turned around at some point.
Do we hear him kill the ninja?
No, you hear him shouting, but you also hear little dwarvish legs running through the snow. Seems he was quite far away. Oh, actually, he can get right up to him with a dash. You you see him like getting up to him, running at him like he's going to make an attack, but he doesn't actually get that attack. It is going to be top of the round though, with that ninja's turn, and as he was totally about to turn around and he sees this dwarf in front of him. He goes, "Oh, there you are. Come here." And he is going to use another technique on the dwarf and on none of you, as another smoke bomb goes on outside.
Fucking So many smokes.
Yeah, he hadn't used his yet. They get one each. But there's a smoke goes off, and then you hear the dwarf going ah as something.
Okay, so technically I can't see him anymore. He's now in smoke.
Yeah, he has disappeared into the.
Damn.
And this guy failed. As he takes a couple of Senbon needles to his pressure point.
Barely injured though, champ. Let's hope a finisher doesn't crit him.
Oh, they're gone.
Okay.
Oh.
So there is that explosion of smoke over there. Svenja, goes to your turn as you heard sounds coming from there, and then the rustling of the snow as the smoke is. I'll try and move it to that side of the screen, but I don't know how to select it. So, what would you like to?
Hey, Foundry has just gone all grey on me. Weird. What would I like to do? She.
Sorry.
Reload. She is going to. Okay, so let's do this a little bit more cinematically because she's not quite realized that she's got celestial blood and an arsenal. She's going to do a healing word towards Gorm. So reach out, with him and say heal. But as she does that as her bonus action, as her action, the healing herself effect is also going to kick in. So she's essentially going to heal herself and Gorm in this turn. Okay, so let's do that in the system firstly and do a spell healing word on him. And that would be 6 points of healing to him. And features, healing hands on herself. Hopefully this is, whoops, hang on a second.
So as you're doing that, Gorm, as you are fighting with Ailson on the beach, the sea levels have started to rise until you're waist deep in water fighting. And as the spell washes over you, you'll see him coming in for a strike, but the waves just crash over you, and you find yourselves heaving awake, like feeling like you were just drowning, but just coughing up blood as the healing word takes effect, and you see Svenja healing herself, just trying to nurse the wounds as well, knitting those back together on your shoulder there, Svenja.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
wasn't
gonna
planning
work?
for her to be covered in scars, but that seems to be the path right now. Healing magic. Okay, and the rapier, I'm assuming when she went down, would have fallen at her feet as per the description, so she would pick it up. And there's still
So
someone.
you should be able to control it there on the map. The rapier that's right.
Okay, so it takes another action. There's this person standing here is still uninjured, right?
You're in a good spot
So,
for shield wall.
so she's going to use a movement to essentially run and go and stand as far behind Yormund as she can, but he seems to fill the space, so kind of just moving towards it. That would be her entire turn.
I'm gonna warn
And
you. Sorry.
Yep.
Shepard might go rampage, and I think right now, if he does, actually 3 people are closer to him than I am. Shit.
Yeah, as you are walking that way, you will see Shepard on top of the table just snarling, and it looks like he's losing his mind. But sorry, Svenja, did you say you were taking the rapier with you? You've got it in hand.
Yeah, I'm assuming when she went unconscious, it would have fallen to the floor, unless it doesn't stop floating around when she goes unconscious. Okay,
I think it
can
only
I?
stops floating once it's made 4 attacks. But yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Okay, so she will. I guess let's move the rapier if I can go back to move the rapier to ninja, and if I can retcon my movement, seeing Shepard, and go and stand on the other side of Yorman, but I'm not able to move the token anymore. So if you will
That's
allow
right,
that, she will.
Yeah, it's there. You can move that next to the ninja. I had pictured it being floating still, even though you were down. But so you can move it in there with the ninja, but you won't be able to make an attack with it on this turn.
It says that when they end their turn, their ferocity drops to 0 and they're no longer in rampage.
Out of initiative.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So is that at the end of initiative, or is that so he drops to 0 and it's like you start again?
It says at the end of the companion's turn.
It would have been at the end of the previous
that
attack,
says
basically.
if they can't.
Ah.
No, never mind.
Ah. No, that is right. Ah, I did.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's just one rampaging attack. We'll get used to this. It's the first time he's actually done.
I thought it would just keep going like a fucking snowball.
No, he got the meat he wanted, but he is still, he's pretty imposing, still up on the table snarling. So you're all a little unsure at first, but yeah, he seems to be trying to sniff out where the ninjas went. So well caught there, Ursula, before we
Thank you.
sick Shepherd on everyone. And it does take us to your turn, Ursula.
Okay, so he saw the guy disappear over to the left there. So he'll go and see, like, see where they went. Then notice this guy down at the bottom, like, ah, shit, and target him with a ray of frost.
You're very low on HP.
And a miss, of course. And run over there and drink another healing potion.
Okay, nice. I hope you guys are keeping track on how many healing potions you have, but yeah,
that's
you're
my last
definitely feeling
one.
a lot better after that. Wow, you guys are still up. I'm impressed. For a second there, I thought this was about to go real far south, but we'll see. As Gorm, Ursula runs up next to you drinking a healing potion, and you are somehow still alive.
Yes, I'll slowly stand up. See my bonus action to harness divine power and regain a spell slot, and then guiding bolt at the only guy I can see at the bottom room.
Yeah, your eyes just glowing and sparkling with this energy as you summon this guiding bolt standing to your feet. This is, let's see,
Dave,
yeah,
for
this guy's
curiosity.
in your path.
I'm sorry.
No, carry on.
If the rapier was floating, for the sake of argument, on the other side of this guy, would it count as flanking because it's distracting him? Was that power gaming the floating rapier too much?
It's not a creature.
No,
It's
it
an
needs to be a
object.
creature. Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the no, not even that would count, unless of course it specifically says that it will grant it, but I don't think any object
Yeah, it
does
needs
that.
sentience, I think, is the thing. I think there are some sentient magic items that can grant you flanking, but this one is still under your control to a certain
So
extent. So
summon Fae coming your way.
yeah, look, this is the one game where, as long as we're prepared, summons could be actually done quite well. But Gorm, yeah, you firing that guiding bolt.
It's my second natural one on
Oh.
Guiding Bolt.
Hey, just
The
think.
gods, they don't know anything about these people. They're like, I don't know what that is. Or why would I can't guide you to hit foreigners? I mean, Thor could. Maybe you're asking the wrong god.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, unlucky. Damn, the rolls, man. So that takes us on to the ninjas. And this one that just saw a guiding bolt like smash into the wall, and there's this sword in front of him. He looks into the room and notices you're all up and is kind of surprised by it. But then, how evil do I want to be? Yeah, no, he's going to look around in here, and then you hear him shouting. He seems to be looking towards the window. Um, Dwarf's gone. We'll take them instead. And he steps out into the doorway and is going to throw a rope dart at you, Kamala. Oh, actually, let's see. I'm going to roll a d4 between Kamala and Mikil, even for Kamala, odd for me. Okay, it's going for Mikil.
Okay, so I'm declaring here. Wait, hang on a second. Let me check the spell description.
Man just threw a dart at me. What the fuck?
Rope dart.
Oh,
He's trying to scorpion pull you. What were you rolling for there?
strength saving throw.
No. Oh,
Oh.
sorry. I thought that was Svenja. She said she was going to roll.
Okay, when a creature succeeds in an attack roll, I can roll. Does it succeed?
Okay, so yeah, that's what. Does that? Yeah, that does hit. As what are you trying to do?
Nothing.
Uh, so sh-
My only reaction is fill the fall.
No, I think
Uh,
Svenja might have a reaction.
Oh,
Yeah, so Svenja would use silvery barbs on him. Let me target him.
That's
And,
cool. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think Silvery Bob's works with Foundry, but he does re-roll and actually got a higher roll. But you can give advantage to someone else, as Mikkel's already succeeded on that strength save. So the dart hits him, and the rope pulls taut, but he doesn't manage to pull you in towards him to get that combo off.
okay, so I'm going to give that advantage to Carmilla. Carmilla, you've got. Wait, hang on a second. Ursula's been doing badly with the Rays of Frost. Ursula, you've got advantage on your next Ray of Frost cast, if that's what you're doing.
Cool.
Okay, so then that is his bonus, and let me just double check. So that is a combo. I'm not sure he can. He might be able to put himself in. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. So as he tries to like pull back on this, Mikil, you just grab the rope and like pull it taut yourself, but he instead just stumbles like forward into it as you try and resist, and he steps forward with a falling blade as you're both kind of taken off balance, but he swings down with his sword. And let's see.
I fucking dare. The audacity.
Oh, and what does it look like as he just misses completely, like bringing this down right into the ground?
So, you know, I pull the rope taut. He starts falling. I start falling as well. And I see his blade, but for some reason it's going incredibly slowly for him. So I just, you know, kind of step to the side, thinking, what a daft fucking loser.
All right, so that he actually takes as you kind of just completely dodge him, he falls a little bit off balance and goes down to one knee as he slams into the ground and then looks up at you like he was not expecting you to dodge. But that is his turn, taking us on to the other ninja outside, who sees him running in here. God, gotta skip that guy. Sees him running in here, and you will see him dive through this window now as he goes in here. He rolls in like looking for the dwarf. He'll look in through the room, and he's going to throw a dart at Camilla.
Oh.
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 Okay, not that bad.
Okay.
As you take 9 points of damage as one of these senbon, you see he throws it, and it is a perfect strike as he's just appeared there. But then he looks around and he's going to take a few more steps actually through as he seems to be looking for that dwarf. And he's got more movement there. Okay, so he ends his turn there, taking us to your turn, Camilla, as you've just been hit by this needle.
Time for revenge.
Oh, okay. So with that first attack, before you roll your second, before you roll the damage on your second, just don't roll that yet, because he takes a reaction as you definitely hit him on that first one.
Wait a second, I just remembered I have extra damage. That is applied on the first one, which is 3.
Yeah, he's still up after the first attack, but he is going to, with his reaction to that, throw a bunch of senbon needles at you. As this, let me double check the thing. Yeah, so he immediately draws a cluster of these senbon needles and throws them at you, just trying to halt your next attack as he's trying to hit the arm with the sword that's coming for him next. So yeah, he makes another dart attack, and then I will need you to make a con save, assuming he hits. Oh, but he misses. So you just see these darts going, but you change the angle of your sword strike and make that second attack. Let's see if you can finish.
Camilla, don't you have a hunter's mark up on him as well?
Yes, that's where the second d6 come from.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's 12, bringing him to 2 HP.
Oh, did you roll the attack? Oh yeah, 24. Nice.
Yes. And with that,
how do you know how much HP he has?
because the what's called the tracker shows.
Oh, the combat up top.
Yes, it shows for some reason. I was like, why is that enabled?
That's weird. Okay. I'm not supposed to do that, but anyway. Yeah. you have nearly got him there, and they can do. He did just use his reaction.
Yeah, it doesn't matter since I have mobile. I'm just wondering. Yes. Just to the corner. And that's how I am platoon.
Okay, Yormond, you're up. And so are all your friends, it looks like.
Yep. Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna go here. I assume advantage.
Yeah, he's flying.
Nice.
All right, yeah, please describe this killing blow.
Yeah, sort of just like after Carmilla doubles back, I just run to just past where his spot was and just steady myself, swing my helmet across my hip, just using my body to turn just you talk too much before cleaving into him.
Yeah, you see him just trying to stand up from that sword hit and still holding the rope that's attached to Mikil, but at the last second, it's just you completely behead him. He is dead as hell. Is that going to be your turn? I'm sure Shepard's still got things. I'm so
Yep.
used to having you guys have many attacks.
Oh, we are level 3. Yep, Shepard is he'd probably notice something were happening out here and is going to wander out.
Going to schmoove.
Yep, he's gonna go here and try and
Can give me a perception check for him if he's trying to sniff out where they
Yeah.
went, because as he runs into the smoke, uh, he he would immediately find that they're not there anymore.
there we go. That
Okay, yeah, but he can pick up the scent pretty easily as there is a blood trail coming from the ninja that's running away. So, yeah, if he moves through the smoke, you should see them to the north.
well, to be fair, at this point he's already used all of his movements,
Can dash.
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I
he
don't
does
really
have.
want him to dash.
Okay, so is that your turn?
Yeah, he'll hide just in case, and that'll be my turn.
All right, nice. Yeah, Shepard's sort of hidden in that smoke as well, so he has disappeared into the snow and smoke, taking us to meet.
Let's see. What do I want? I think, yeah, to start with, I'm just gonna walk up to Gorm and then cast Cure Wounds on him. Just to get his health just a bit higher.
Okay, yeah, he's looking much better after that.
And then I'm gonna start going outside, just behind the shepherd. That should be enough movement, yeah. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, very nice. That takes us on to the dwarf outside who is being taken away by the ninja, and after getting hit with those needles on the last turn, is unfortunately stunned until the end of this one, so cannot take down that final hit point, but he is being dragged away, taking us to the top of the round with the ninja who's got him grappled, and he's going to keep on moving. Yeah, as he is dashing, but because he's carrying this guy, he's moving at half speed, as he's just dragging him through the snow outside. But you guys can't actually see that. So Svenja, what are you doing?
If I can get that turn tracker. Okay, so she would move to the door. Hang on a second. There's a hole in this. So she would move to the door. And I am going to, if I can get my gadgety thingy. No, not that one. To select my token.
The
Because
square.
it turns out that Dissonant Whispers doesn't specify sight. It says you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking with terrible pain. So if he's still within 60 feet of the door, when she gets to the door, can she see him? Because that smoke cloud is obviously in a specific space.
Yeah, that smoke cloud is sort of dissipating now, but you can't see him from where you are. Definitely not.
Okay, but she would essentially do this terrible screaming, dissonant whisper screaming out of the door, and if it's within 60 feet and it can hear her, I guess the spell applies. I don't know how you want to interpret that. That's what I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah, so if it's within 60 feet of you, then I would say that it could apply as you sort of shouting it out after him. But which one are you targeting? One specific?
I'm targeting the one dragging the dwarf.
Oh my god, I'm yeah, unfortunately he is not within range. He's literally 5 feet out. So if you want to try and use the rest of your movement, or however much movement you have, you might be
So
able
she
to get
can,
within range.
so she can literally just step the last 5 feet outside of the door. So when she gets outside, does she see anything? Is Shepard looking in a particular? Okay, let's say, is he within 60 feet when she steps 5 feet out into the outside?
No, he's still 65.
Fuck. And the other one also too far away.
No, the other one's within range, definitely. You saw him just go out the door in the room that you were in, out the hole in the wall. So he's like close by. So if you just want to try and target a ninja, I'll allow that as you just screaming out and but then you can stay actually, so you don't have to stand on top of Mikhail there. You can stay within the door.
Okay, well, I've used that movement. It's not allowing me to undo it. So yes, I will target a ninja with Dissonant Whispers. I can't target on the map, obviously. And they will do a wisdom saving throw and take 10 points of psychic damage.
Okay, I didn't press the prompt, but he rolled a nat 1. So yeah, he definitely will take the 10 points. And then what is the additional effect?
It must use its reaction, if available, to move as fast and as far away as possible from me as it can.
Okay, so in that case, you actually diverted from the direction it was heading in, as it goes directly away from you. And I'll say from where the sound is coming, so this way. Okay, yeah, you hear it scream and someone start running. As Yormund, you see this creature just bolt in the opposite direction it was originally going. Svenja, is that your turn?
She would move the floating rapier out to where she is. Let's see if it allows me to do the movement there. Yep, so there-ish. It collides with the wall. Okay, just to where she is. That's good enough for now. And that's my turn.
Okay. Yeah, the wall was on the tree. It's the trees. That was the issue. But yes, you're up.
Okay, so I saw that the ninja dwarf went up. over there, but I don't think Ursula would have seen that. So would I have like heard them going up there or anything, or do I just not know where they are after going there?
I mean, can you see them on the map? Is that
No.
okay?
Lots I
Yeah,
could
so
see was
you would
over in
have.
the smoke, and then I saw them move up, but I don't think Ursula could see through the smoke.
I'll say you can give me a perception check because that dwarf is screaming and yelling as much as he can. So they're definitely making a noise where they go. Okay, yeah, I'll say that's just enough to hear that this sort of bank of trees outside the hole just above you, like you can see that bank of trees. You can hear them coming from like over here. Like you can hear the sound coming from those trees there. So it sounds like they're on the other side of that wall and heading up.
Cool. I want to go up through the hole in the wall and see if I can cut them off.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, you would know that on that side of the trees is the road. So you know you probably could cut them off if you headed further up, like through the middle of that sort of path that you see there, as that's the way they came from. So it might be the same way that they're heading.
Just gotta use my dash too.
Dashing, cool. Okay, I know you can't see it from your perspective, but you, you like as you glance to the side, you can see just through the trees as you're running, you can see the ninja, just glimpses of him as you have caught up and you are starting to overtake them.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, cool. Then taking us on to Gore.
Actually, I'm also going to convert the spell to a sorcery point. A spell slot, I
Oh,
mean.
is that a bonus?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll move up with Ursula. And I'll dash as well. So right here.
Okay, yeah, you can also give me a perception if you want, but you'll probably see the same glimpses as you are catching up to Ursula there as well.
14.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. You can hear the dwarf yelling and screaming on that side. Is so yeah, is that your turn?
Yep, I ended it.
Okay, that ninja's dead. Dude outside's dead. This ninja who's running away, well, at least because of the dissonant whispers, he is going to keep running and he's also going to dash. Okay, he's running around the corner there, and you hear an oh shit from the other side of the trees, but Carmilla, it's your turn. I think you were just clipping the wall there. There's like still the half wall that Ursula built there that's kind of crumbled after the ninja hit it, but you do have to kind of step over it to get through, and you see the others running up ahead.
Oh yeah, let's just dash to get ahead of them. And see.
Yeah, the two of you, as you're like running side by side, you just see Carmilla like flying past you as running unnaturally as usual.
Okay, so interestingly, I can see what the other players.
Yeah,
Shared
That happens when you
vision.
don't have your token selected.
Oh, okay. Ah,
But that's there so that you don't have to sit and be staring at a blank wall if something's happening with the other players in the next room. It's like try not to meta game, but when you click on your token, you should only be able to see from your point of view.
Now the
okay.
question is the dude in 90 feet radius? Or 90 feet from where I'm standing?
Yeah, probably. That 90 feet's pretty huge.
Perfectly. Then I will target him and apply a hunter's mark.
Okay, is that... Do you not need to be able to see them for that one?
That's why I asked if I could see him.
Oh, well, you can give me a perception check to try and see through the trees, but yeah, probably not. He might be within 90 feet, but I don't think you can see him yet.
And then let's burn the inspiration for the advantage.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna give him... yeah. Gonna give him a stealth because he's a ninja. It's kind of hard to see, but the dwarf is really giving him away. So I'm gonna give him a stealth roll, and if he beats a 19, then you haven't seen him. Otherwise, you will be able to cast that through the trees. Got a 14. You just see him through the trees as you are running, and you are able to get that hunter's mark off as the dwarf gives him away.
Perfectly. And that's my turn.
So yeah, now you know exactly where he is. He is marked, and Yormund, that takes us on to you, as Shepard's also been sniffing him out. Where are you gonna?
Yeah, Yoemid is going to bumble his way outside as well.
I'm gonna say in your current large form, to get past everyone, there's definitely gonna be difficult terrain. So as Yormund comes bumbling through, so it'll just be an extra 10 feet of movement if you're
That's
trying to
pretty
get
much
through.
all I could. That right here is all I could do. But fortunately, Shepard is not troubled by a lack of speed. So, oh, right, that reminds me. Okay. Yeah, Shepard is gonna do this, hearing the door scream and knowing what that means. And he's gonna circle him.
Very nice, yeah, and he's flanked.
Alright, let's see. Nope.
Oh God, the rolls did, but yeah, the ninja is like immediately like blocks him with his sword, as sword against teeth for a moment, as this guy's looking badly hurt and Shepard's looking angry. Is that your turn?
I wonder if I can try and intimidate him as Shepard.
I mean, he's already intimidated. He's trying to get away with the dwarf. He's Shepard has now blocked him, so yeah,
Yep.
he's not looking good.
Yeah, I think that's my turn.
Okay. Oh, actually, he is going to take a reaction against Shepard because I realized
Oh.
he's still got his reaction.
Shepard does not have a high fucking AC.
I should have given him Shield of Faith.
Fuck, just made him armor.
That is true. What do you do that?
Oh, it does
He
matter.
still misses just for the 12. As yeah, he throws all these sand bombs, but Shepard is just snarling, and it like just bounces off of his fur as he's This seems harder to hit than the ninja thought, taking us then, I think, onto Mika's.
I notice it. No, Megan's gonna walk over. I think yeah, he's gonna walk over here. Or, yeah. So, not. I know there's one down there, but I want to see. I'm gonna. Megan's gonna try and lob a firebolt at that ninja. God, ooh. Oh,
Yeah, baby. Finally.
ooh.
Hey, very nice. How do you want to do this?
So, I'm just walking over here, just spot and see the dwarf, and I think that's good lobbing distance. So I get ready with my fireball, or firebolt, sorry, not fireball. Just get a perfect fucking shot and just yell, "Fuck off!" or "Go back to your lands, you daft cunts!" As the fireball is just flying through the air.
Get gapping or
Yeah.
get going.
You see this ninja like blocking Shepard, and then as he hears you, he just turns his head to see this fireball as it hits him in the face, igniting his neck and shoulders as he just screams and falls into the snow, kicking and screaming. And then as the snow sort of sizzles around him, goes limp, and you see the dwarf like patting himself down, and he looks and he gives you a thumbs up, and he goes, "Oh, thank you, laddie."
I don't
Shepard.
sweat it.
Shepard is just really confused. Just
I
looking at
still
the
have it in.
dwarf.
I still have like 10 feet. What can I? Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, and then I'm gonna walk over here, point my sea axe at the ninja I spot down here. I want to try and intimidate this guy.
Yeah, as you're standing in the smoke there, just as it's dissipating around you, and he sees the smoldering body of his in the distance. Give me an intimidation check.
Can I do it with strength or don't?
Yeah, sure. As you pointing out your sword, I'll say you can do.
Alright.
Also, he has just seen that he is well within your range,
Fuck.
but unfortunately, ninjas are taught to show no emotion, and you you just see him kind of crouch, ready to fight. Hard to tell through the mask if you've intimidated him or not, but you do look badass.
I'll still just point my CX at him, saying you're next, and that's my turn.
All right, and backing you up as the dwarf kind of looks at Shepard and goes, "Oh, good doggy." He's going to turn around and he's going to start running back towards you. Oh, uh, let's see, not that far. Yeah, as he starts running down here, just over here actually, as he's trying to get eyes on the other ninja. He's, yeah, you can see him pulling out his hammers, and he's trying to back you up, so he's gonna dash. Down these little dwarvish legs. That's the end of the round. Unfortunately, the one everyone has been chasing is dead, but there is one left. So at the top of the round, Sven.
Well, she is essentially. Okay, so just advance the turn tracker. I guess we can do that. She is essentially at this moment semi-coherent with rage. So she's going to step out into the space here. Go stand next to, if I can get past the wall. Why is it saying colliding with one token? Oh, I must open the door, I guess. stand next to Mikkel and just scream in rage at this ninja again. Let's see what happens if we cast Dissonant Whispers at a... They're not wearing metal armor, they're wearing leather armor and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, he looks like it's actually just sort of cloth armor, but he has got a metal headband on.
I don't think Shatter does anything to... No, it's only if they're made of metal. So she's simply in this... It's almost like a banshee kind of sound, how you'd not heard a banshee before. A scream at him again. And let's roll the damage, and that will trigger for you a saving throw.
Okay, yeah, he just makes it as he now realizes where that sound is coming from. But yeah, he does take half damage on that, as there was some good damage. Damn.
Oh, okay. So she's going to use silvery barbs as a reaction, and he has to re-roll it.
Not sure how to.
Let's see if he rolls better than the previous saving throw.
Let's roll it normally.
Am I making it too hard?
No, I thought there was a button. Like sometimes these things work against us, but an 8 is a fail, so he takes the other 9 points of damage and has to use his reaction, right?
No, so he uses the second roll, and the advantage on the saving attack or the next attack she will give to herself. So she's essentially striding down towards him. See if I can get a distance monitor here. Is he within 30 feet of it? Just going to step a little bit forward if I could, and cast the rapier at him. Attack with the rapier as a bonus
Okay,
action.
although I think if he, yeah, you can try and chase him with the rapier, but the I think he does have to move away immediately, right? If he,
No, not on. Oh, hang on a second. Yes, on Dissonant Whispers, he uses
yeah,
action.
so he uses his reaction to move as far away from
Hasn't he
you
used
as
his
possible.
reaction this turn already?
It was you that did that last time, the dissonant whispers. So I think he's had a
Okay.
turn since then. It would have. I mean,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, I think it has been his turn since then, because he ran around here on his turn. That's how he got here. He was on the other side of the trees with the last dissonant whispers. So he's going to try and move away from.
Fair enough. Okay, in that case, I will give the advantage in the next attack to Mikkel himself. I could retcon that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So Mikkel, you'll have advantage from the silvery barbs, as he like doesn't seem entirely intimidated at you at first, but with the dwarf running at him, and then as Fenya comes out and lets out this banshee scream, it's like he gets the message and he turns and runs. Is that going to be your turns, Fenya?
That is her turn. Yes, thank you.
Okay, Ursula, you've you heard the commotion going on the other side of the trees. What are you guys going to do up there, as you're pretty far from the action now?
Not much I can do. Is gonna keep running over there and seeing there's no one there, keep going.
I think there's a wall in front of Okay, yeah, so you get right up to the body where the shepherd is just like standing in front of this burnt corpse as Gorm takes us to you.
Yeah, I'll follow Ursula. Right here, and that's my turn.
What was the mission to chase ninjas through the snow? Uh, okay, yeah, you get right up next to her. As are you guys doing anything as you reach the body?
Nothing on this turn. Let's see. It's my turn. I dash there.
Okay, this guy on his turn, he is going to attempt to flee as you have successfully tried to chase him off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a dex save against who's going to be next to get close to him? Probably Mikil. So Mikil, can you please give me just a straight dexterity check?
Yeah. Not that.
Or
My
you
deck
can make it a
is
save actually if you've got. You might have
No.
a bonus. Oh. So yeah, this guy, as he's now gotten the message you've intimidated, he's getting the hell out of there. With a 27, he is able to flee, and you see another puff of smoke as he disappears into the trees, and that brings us out of combat. So, okay, that is not how I was expecting that fight to go. Well done. I was very worried at the end of the last session, but you guys have defeated the ninjas, chased one of them off. You do know that he's probably not the only one in the group, so he has run off into the forest. You're not sure where, but you guys have survived and managed to save at least one of those two people, as the dwarf seems very thankful. And he comes up and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I started running away, but I think you can see how dangerous those lads are. I thank you kindly."
How many did you say there were at the camp?
Oh, it's probably a few more of them. I think another three of those lads, another three of the weak ones, and their leader, who was less of a weapon user, but I'd be wary if you're going to go and try and hunt them down. Did anyone see what happened to my friend?
Just sort of like stumbling out hearing the conversation. Yeah, your friend, he jumped out the window and got his head cut off clean.
Oh, a daft twit. Well, kind of always knew that was going to happen to him. We weren't really close, just prisoners together, you know.
That's
Glad it wasn't me, though. Thank you so much. You especially with the dog and the fire. The two of you are quite something. You all okay?
just nod my head. I didn't even get hit
Wow, we're
once.
alive.
I couldn't be better.
Busy draining the corpse of the what's called the ninja from blood.
Oh yeah, this is something sweet,
Vampire.
not like anything you've had around here before. It's Kigani blood and lots of chakra in that blood. It's quite revitalizing. But as gross as that is up there, are the rest of you? Well, now that you have uh, defeated these guys, the area is pretty much safe, and this was where you were going to have as like a waypoint. So if you guys want to settle down here and still do that, take your long rest, you absolutely can. You've chased off the ninjas, at least for now. So yeah, other than the blood spatters everywhere, what are you guys gonna do?
Oh, we're definitely in need of that long rest.
I'd probably say we can set up the camp, not necessarily right here, because I feel like once they find out, hey, a couple of our guys are missing,
Yeah, staying here is probably a bad idea.
So yeah, you can either continue on your expedition and find something a little bit further on, or you can make camp here, which I will say at this primitive bothy, the make camp activity will automatically succeed, as you've got a fire here and um, you've got some shelter from the storms. But yeah, obviously the chances of the ninjas coming back is there. So it seems like you've probably scared them off for now. Like they would have to do some planning if they were going to come and attack you again, as
How?
you've taken out a few of their members.
Hmm, question. Well, specifically to the dwarf. How long would it take to go back to wherever their camp might be?
Oh, quite a while, I imagine. It took us most of the day yesterday when we escaped. We just got here in the wee hours. I mean, not most of the day, most of the night, rather. We left as soon as the sun went down, and we'd been here about an hour or two before you arrived.
Hmm.
But in the snow, it's a bit of a hike. Those ninjas, though, they jump through the trees. They're pretty quick. Though I must say, I don't think they'll come back after what you've done here. I was going to run, and then I heard you winning the fight, so I came back. Uh, I didn't think there were such strong men around in the. Well, I was going to say Mensa for some reason, but not speaking that language. Anyway, if you want to attack them, I think it's still going to be quite a hike. They're up at the hot springs. So if you guys want to look at the map, there will be sort of marked there on your map where the hot springs are. That is one of the places you had as your one of your waypoints.
Then I suppose 8 hours wouldn't be too much of a risk staying here as long as we take off right after.
Yeah, I like the idea of this feels a little bit more defensible in terms of there's only a few places they can come in. If they are as good as they seem to be, they could easily track us from here. We're sort of badly hurt. We'll leave bad tracks if we try and move somewhere else and make camp.
Better take
Uh,
good watches.
hmm.
Yeah, DM, can
So
I? Oh,
yeah, sorry, Karen.
can I search the body of who I think was the leader? I think he's in the bedroom. He's invisible.
Uh, which one? This the guy here in the doorway. There's no one in the bedroom. They're not invisible.
Oh, there was. Oh, there was one.
Just pools of blood.
Oh,
Honest.
that's the guy that
Yeah,
ran away.
he's this pool of blood.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I see the blood is just a bit transparent.
If you hover over it, doesn't it show
Yeah,
the
I see
image?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can. I will say you can give me a roll. Actually, no, don't bother with the roll because all you will find on this guy is his one smoke bomb. Other than that, these guys didn't seem to be carrying anything on them. They were wearing light robes. They've got a short sword and a rope dart each. Other than that, it seems like they are equipped in case they got captured to not have anything on them. Um, and you don't find any like distinguishing scrolls or anything. Though when you take the mask off, you do recognize that this guy is like, I mean, he looks Asian, which would be strange. This guy clearly comes from Kika.
Yeah, I'll just take the one smoke bomb and take a seat at the chair, just moving it around my fingers.
I will say you can make a history check for me as to see what you might be able to find from the things you're looking over here. Like his sword is quite a strange style as well. And with a 22, yeah, you remember also the stories of there was the bounty looking for some foreigners, and that one of them was like described as a monk. There is a quest there that these guys are definitely from that same group, and it kind of makes sense as to where you have encountered them. But they are foreigners and not welcome around here.
Hmm.
Uh,
So yeah, I think. Sorry, Svenja
no,
would also like to investigate, but we've done the weapon needles, and so she's taking some of those as a to study later or lore to use in storytelling or like that. This is completely obviously outside of anything she's ever heard about, and she reckons that she needs maybe to take a mask or two as well to recreate the story of the ninja fight with props.
Looks like you're wearing your stories already.
Yeah, but she's not going to take her clothes off to show everybody the scars. It's not that kind of bard yet.
yeah.
Yes.
But I think Mika will also want to take one of the swords, short swords, to study. Because it's quite a peculiar design. And for curiosity's sake, what would I be able to smelt those short swords down into? Like, would I get like an ingot each, or
I'm not 100% sure about that. We'll have to check the crafting guide, but it would follow the rules of a regular short sword.
yeah? Like from what I can read, it didn't really say anything about smelting shit down. So
Yeah, then I think take a look at how many ingots you would need for a short sword, because you'd probably be able to get around that same amount.
yeah, I mean
I
probably
think we'll
just
put it down to a check to see how much of the material gets wasted during that smelting process. So you
yeah.
might get like one less or something, but otherwise on a success you'd get that much.
Yeah, short sword is 2 ingots. In that case, if there's any left over, I'd like to smelt down one of them.
Okay, how are you smelting? Sorry, Krista, please can you
Krista.
mute? We can hear you making a drink.
I can cast Forge Fire as a ritual.
Oh, right. Yeah, then you absolutely can. You can just use the fire.
Yeah.
Would you not have the proper tools, workbench, and all that?
I have my. I always carry my my smith's tools.
I mean, you kind of need a whole workshop.
No, not with that.
Really?
With forge fire, that's exactly what artificers specialize in. He can make a workshop in here
Huh.
right now.
I'd like to take the guy's dead friend over here and just move him a short way off into the forest and throw some snow and pine needles over him just as a sort of makeshift burial.
It's my to-do list.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Which one?
The the guy that the pirates were hunting.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I sorry, I didn't see your ping. Um. Yeah. So where are you? Where are you gonna take him off to? There's a couple of decent spots here to lie down about.
Just like short way into the forest, like there or something.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah, I mean, won't need much of a check if you're not putting that much effort into it. But if you want to actually give them a burial, let me know. But yeah, you managed to easily just cover up the body.
So, I mean, I guess in talking to this dwarf, he's essentially just nothing special, just a prisoner. Or is there a particular reason why the pirates had caught him specifically? So that's one of the conversations Svenja wants to have with them.
Well, I mean, you'd have to ask them what they wanted with me, but they seem to be taking a few people, I think, probably to use as slaves. You know, dwarven muscle is always popular. But there was a dwarven brother of mine that's still tied up there, as well as an elf who I'm pretty sure they were trying to do the same thing with. But they had us tied to one of the hot springs that wasn't so hot. We nearly froze our asses off, but we managed to get away. At least my friend and I. I'm not sure about the others.
Yeah, don't talk about dwarven muscle being popular around Camilla. She has a different view of what popular means. The other question is, have you heard any of the dwarven king being back and the door being opened in the north?
A dwarven king? You mean King Arkoth?
Well, I guess we've just heard rumors that the sorry, I must go look at the quest log to get it specifically right. That the door in
You
the
can give
north
me a
is
history
open.
to try and recall that as well.
Could I also roll
Right.
a history check?
Come on, why
Yeah,
does it
you
do
absolutely
this?
can. Or, I mean, yeah, as you say, if you just want to look at the quest again, it's still there, but you can roll history to see if there's any extra.
Ah,
Oh, of course.
now
Yeah.
I roll that 20.
So you guys would remember that when he says King Arkoth, you recognize that name. I'll say Svenja and Gorm will both recognize that name with those high rolls as being the Dwarven King of Bazir, which is to the east. It's Muspelheim. He's not a Dwarven King in Mordia. And Svenja, with a 25, you know that there is no Dwarven King here in Mordia. This creature is calling himself the Underhill King. That his whole what the quest was about was that his whole thing is he keeps attacking humans and elves and saying that they cheated him out of his crown. So he's calling himself a king and saying that he deserves a crown, but like when you're speaking to this dwarf, he seems confused. Like there is no king to speak of, and he sort of confirms what you know about that when you're talking to him now and with this confusion.
Okay.
Also, are you just moving in?
Yeah, I would
So
also
just
not be big.
for fun in setting up the camp, she will play the lyre. She'll play a rock song on the lyre. It has to be, sorry for the pun, and cast a wall of stone and concentrate on it for the full 10 minutes and essentially put a stone wall all around the little cabin except for the door. So it happens to be that it's 120 feet around the cabin except for the door. So now we only have one place to guard, I guess. It's an option at least. Presumably the roof is relatively secure because there's holes in the roof. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, the roof is about the only thing that's really held up in this place. But with that, you would I take it that's from your new instrument.
That's from the new instrument, yes.
I was going to say, how did you get that spell at that level?
Oh,
But
you
yeah,
gave it to me.
you do absolutely manage to seal up the doors, at least temporarily. I don't think that's a permanent wall, right? It lasts for how long?
No, it says if you concentrate on the spell for the duration, it becomes permanent. So she will essentially put stone panels kind of, I don't know how far we can go around. I think they have to be continuous. So if the right-hand side of the cabin is solid, she'll just block off the doors and we'll just have to go out the window tomorrow morning. But everywhere where there are holes in the walls, block it up so that the cabin is relatively secure with only one entrance to guard.
Okay, just doing all my hard work with making these walls. Thanks, but
You can break them later. They've got an armor
no,
class need for it.
I'm just kidding. This is a good move. You seal them all. I'm just putting some walls down to represent that, but
Yeah, I don't want to destroy the beautiful art of your lane map.
yeah, see the lanes almost work there. You guys chased them down. But yeah, you have successfully sealed up all the holes and windows in the walls, and yeah, unless it's Santa Claus that's coming through the chimney, I don't think they're getting in here unless they go through the front door like normal. So yeah, as you usually when you get to a waypoint and you take a rest, that is where everyone rolls a morale save, and also that usually takes like a full day of rest that you sit there and you actually set up a proper camp and you feast and whatever. I mean, you've already kind of done a bit of the feasting already. I'll say there's probably still some leftovers, and you've still got that barrel of ale. But are you guys going to stay here for a full day, or are you going to try and get a move on earlier?
I think we'd be pushing our luck if we stayed here for a full day.
Yeah, earlier.
Just enough for a long rest, I think.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to ask everyone to give me what was it? Sanity saving throw with disadvantage, please, because you are not getting the full rest.
And I already have a.
And you say it's a moral save, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the last time you said that we would have advantage on our next moral save, which would cancel out.
Jordan is going fucking
That is true.
insane.
So, yeah, actually, it is just a normal roll, well remembered. But let's
Okay, I
see.
got
I'll look at those.
17 now.
Those
I still
that'll
got
just be your first dice. Was
Would have gone that.
good lord, the rolls,
literally
man.
nobody.
Oh. I would have gone my first nat 20 of the day if not
Well
for
then,
disadvantage.
no, you would have,
Or-
because it's only the first one that counts.
Oh. So
Yeah,
nat
it would
20
have
on
been
the
the first
standard.
dice. No, it would have been the first dice. So you're right. You would have gotten a nat 20 there.
Incredible.
Should be fine.
I'm in high spirits.
Yeah, Miko, that fight went well. Like you like scared that guy down and he pissed himself and ran away. Went well. And Ursula, you as well are. That's actually a success. So it looks like Ursula and Mikil, I think, are the only ones that succeeded. Unless you
Yep.
somehow gave yourself advantage, Svenja.
I'm thinking I'm going to use the inspiration die to reroll 17.
Didn't you already use your inspiration earlier?
It was me.
Australia. Carmel.
Well, I can roll with Estrella. She has much higher sanity.
Fuck off.
Why do some of us have -1 to sanity?
Because I'm pretty sure we failed one before.
Yeah, so the more you roll, every time you fail, you're going to remove 1 from your sanity score. So that the longer you stay out here, the lower your morale and the harder it's going to be to actually keep your spirits up. But it's only once it actually reaches 0 that you break.
Wait a
And
second.
it goes back
I
to
got
10
a
once you
nat
get
one
back
for
home.
assuming that does
Just a
not mean I
question.
lose two.
Why did I write 1 free reroll?
Huh?
It was because I was like, I'm gonna remove the moral save, and then under it it's written 1 free reroll, and I'm not sure where that come from.
I think that's on maybe on your hit dice. I'm not sure. You've got to write more than just if you can't remember. You got to keep track of those things yourself. So, and sorry, everyone was speaking over each other there.
I
What
was asking.
Ursula? What you?
So the sanity recharges to 10 once you get back home.
Yeah. So the way that the mechanics work, it actually says you go to like -10, but you start at 10, and then it'll go up or down. Or I think you can start with a bonus to your based on your wisdom modifier. So you might start with like 12 if you've got a +2 to your wisdom.
I started with
And so I could have
10
started at
and I had a
11.
16.
Wait. Hmm?
Yeah, that it doesn't matter. Look, guys,
Okay.
just this is how it's going. You all started with 10, but this is only your second expedition ever. But this is part of the further you travel, the harder it gets. So you guys have now you are taking the rest, and we're gonna I'm gonna move the time along as the light finally comes.
Quickly.
Probably won't last.
Is there much difference to a fail and a nat 1, or it's still the same? Just a minus.
Yeah, I mean, look, these mechanics we're still sort of coming up with. I'll say, yeah, you lose 2 on a nat 1.
Lovely. I am I am on 7.
Something more and
Yeah.
more insane.
Would
Yeah, that's
Shepherd fall?
nearing a breakdown eventually. But hey, at least Shepard's not feeling too ferocious anymore. He's had his lunch, and
He
I
does have
assume you've
a
also gone back to normal size.
yes, I have.
You can change that yourself, by the
Mhm.
way. If you right click and you open the little config wheel, you go to
Ah,
appearance, and then in appearance you'll see where it says dimensions. You just change that to 1 1, or as that's medium, because I don't want to have to do it every single time.
config
But
wheel. Should that be
so
around my character?
if you right click on your character, can you see the little
It's
under the
the
target?
same setting. It's basically the setting. It's number 4 from the bottom on the left.
I don't have a taskbar, and this is what I'm seeing. Nothing.
Little cogwheel. When you right click on your token, do you not have a cogwheel there?
No, I've posted what I'm seeing in there.
Okay, if you okay, fuck it, never mind.
So is there a way to clean off blood or not really?
Ah,
Guys, really, I don't know.
Yeah, on the left side there's a clear blood button.
I think that might wipe it from the map, but
Oh,
if it, I don't know, did you just press it and wipe it from yourself?
I
You
didn't.
can try.
I didn't get hit, so I mean it might just be easier not, just in case.
Yeah, don't worry.
Well, did you press it? Did nothing happen?
Oh, it seemed to work for Mikkel.
Yeah, those blood spatters will probably clear when you go into the next map. That's a representation of the hits you've taken and the scars that are still, the wounds you're still holding.
Okay,
But
so that
everyone can take a long rest, though. I will be moving the time across now. What were you going to say?
okay. That 3 roll there was the special feature of the rapier that I don't know if the other people know about. Shall we share it? Yeah. On a 1 roll after a long rest, the user is unable to sleep and has vivid visions of Avernus and their soul being consumed by fires. No long rest is granted, and the user instead suffers 1 level of exhaustion. That was what that 3 roll was for. So Svenja
So
doesn't
that's,
sleep particularly well. He manages to sleep some.
yeah, so you would start to have, there would be faint images of those nightmares, but yeah, we'll get into what you actually see when that nat one does come. But
Okay.
yeah, you do start to have some strange dreams, especially after all the things you've seen. You keep having dreams of the gods and of Tyr and Freya, and then seeing the fires of hell. But uh, other than that, it does not disturb you too much during the night.
Since I'm
Though,
out of
as
healing
you, yeah,
since I'm out of healing potions, I'd like to take one from the party resources in the loot tab if I can, but I don't see how.
yeah. So that just is that's not how that works. But it'll duplicate it if you pull it in, so it doesn't remove it from that. But are you taking that from the dragon's hall?
Yes.
Okay, you should have.
Yeah, there's one there now. Is this still in the dragon's horde? Is the
It was
problem?
just one. Hey? Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Give me 2 seconds to delete it.
Cool.
So
Thanks.
that's gone, and it should be in your character sheet. Also, Svenja, I assume you have the instrument that.
Yep, it's in the inventory. It's in my inventory.
Okay, so I can take that one out of the horde as well. Cool. Then I think that's. Yep, cool. Anyone else doing anything over the long rest?
I would like to disassemble one of the short swords, as mentioned earlier.
If you want,
Oh yeah. So how are you doing that?
Should we just roll a blacksmith check? And just
Well, how does so you're using Forge Fire, right?
yes, which I
So
can
you can
cast.
post that into the chat.
I can also offer you to recycle my changes because I'm actually still looking that around.
I thought, didn't you trade that in to get your other one?
Did I?
I don't remember. I mean, if you still got it, you got to track your own inventory.
So
So
as
if
long
you
as they
got
aren't,
it, you got it.
yeah, as long as they aren't magical, I should be able to smelt them down.
Okay, yeah. So you've essentially you turn this just fire the fireplace. You turn that fire into a hot enough fire to forge with, and you can definitely smelt down the metals here using some of your blacksmithing tools. So you can, yeah, I mean, you can give me a check, but I think you basically just do it. There's not that it's not that hard to do, but you can give me a blacksmithing tools check to see if you waste any or if you get 2 ingots. Though you are still going to have to pour the ingots. So I am going to add an extra 2 hours onto your rest to do this.
Fine.
Yeah, absolutely. You manage to break this thing apart, get 2 ingots, and I'll say you get the handle as well. What is that? A short haft or?
The short swords don't have halves; they're just 2 ingots.
Yeah. Oh, is that all? It doesn't
Yeah.
need materials for a handle. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Then that's cool. Yeah. Are you only doing the two? I mean
Well,
the one tool.
if there's more spare, I'd like to do as many as possible. But
I'll say because they were the three main ninjas. If no one is trying to take those swords for any reason, you can.
I know Svenja is
In my
wanting one, and I'm gonna keep one as well just to study.
Yeah, then that's cool. Then you've got the 2 ingots. You've got one wakizashi. Oh no, it's a ninjato. So I will add those to your character sheets. Svenja, did you say you were taking You took the Senbon needle, didn't you? Not one of the swords.
No, one of the needles, or they were throwing handfuls at us. So I guess she'll collect a handful of them and maybe one of the masks. I mean, generally going through the bodies, I'm assuming metagaming that we don't find anything other than the weapons and the masks and the smoke bombs that they've used. Is that like a devicey kind of thing, or is that a? Can she work out how they managed to do these smoke bomby thingies by studying whatever she finds on the bodies and thinking about how it worked in Hong Kong?
Yeah, so there was one smoke bomb left that hadn't been detonated, and you'll see it looks like it is almost like a paper mache little ball that fits in a hand, and there's a small ignition, like almost like a striker on top that you just ignite with your thumb. As you kind of take the lid off, it ignites itself, and you throw it. And but these they look tiny, and each of the main ninjas of those three, each of them had one, and there's one left that he didn't get to use it. Although, yeah, that there was one that wasn't used. So
No, she fairly quickly realizes that she's way out of her depth with this and gives it to Mikkel to see. Hey, see if you can work out somewhere how they made these. But not while he's busy concentrating on his forging and all that stuff. Yeah, other than that, she's basically just taking some of the masks and studying how they dressed to see if she can create some sort of performance out of it later. I guess for camp actions, depending on whether we're standing watch or not, her fine winter cloak that she managed to finagle out of her mother is probably fairly badly damaged. So if she doesn't need to stand watch, she'll use some of her weaving tools to try and repair it as part of her crafting action time spent. But if there's watch needed, she'll take a turn standing watch. But I think that's as much as I want to put into this long rest in terms of thinking.
yeah, that's cool. We can. I'm just going to sort of speed things up a bit. Everyone that is going to be taking a watch, you can just give me a perception check. We don't have to do them in order, but Mikil, I will say that one sword that you actually kept, you will notice, like, probably the reason you kept it is that it looked a little bit nicer than the others. Just that one's steel is nicely forged. But it sounds like Svenja wasn't taking the other short sword. So if you want to take another 2 ingots, you can.
Sure. And I presume they're all steel.
Yeah.
Cool. We make
Have you got a way? Are you tracking that on your own sheet, or is that a party resource?
Sure. It can be a party resource. I don't see why not.
So how many have you got already?
I've got 4 total.
Okay, they should show up in the party resources there. I did put a thing there for steel ingot. Cool. So yeah, just remind me to update those when you get.
Right.
Okay, those perception checks. Let's see. Oh, not great again, but so Yormund, on your watch, you sort of pay the most attention, and you basically watching the door, listening out, and you don't hear any more sort of traffic from around here. You hear a couple of like woodland creatures and things, but there are definitely no more ninjas making themselves known around here. These walls have made you guys feel a lot safer, and it seems they are not messing with you again for now. But you do have one of their captives, so they may not be so happy with you still, and it has been a bit of a long journey already. But as the evening sort of sets in, it is again dark. You imagine it might actually be a good time to move before they use the darkness to come and set upon you. So are you guys going to stay here, or are you going to start planning your next movement?
Probably go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get going.
Wait a second. Does this guy who had the clothes in the image? Because if so, Camilla will be taking that.
I will say his clothes are pretty destroyed, but you can take a few buckles and a cool hood. But yeah, Svenja also took one of the masks. So you guys have stripped these corpses, and so there's no mechanical advantage. You can actually, I'll add traveler's clothes and say Kigani travelers.
Yeah, Camilla, when we get back, we can kind of try and sweet talk my mother into making you a set that looks like this, but maybe a little bit more cold resistant.
Yeah, I mean that is quite fitting for you there, Camilla. As yeah, could definitely use some tailoring when you get back to town. But I will switch us over to the area map as you guys all begin plotting your next move. And I think we're going to need a navigation check from whoever's going to be our navigator. You guys can choose new roles this time as you're leaving a waypoint now. So just post your role in the chat, please, in the in-game.
I can stay as navigator if no one wants to take it.
I think it'd be reasonable to keep what we had.
I'm content with my current role. The crafter.
Cool. So yeah, it's usually the hunter that's in contention. Are you guys, anyone switching around? Good. So then, Yeoman, you scout.
Yeah, though I can't remember if I was pretty much doing two jobs because I had Shepard with me. I think it might have just been Scout.
Should be pinned in the Discord.
Scout and
You
Lookout.
have Lookout
That's
and
it.
Scout.
Yep. Sorry, I just looked through the balls. Yep, Scout and Lookout. Not sure if.
Okay, so I'm making a little ninja visible just on the map because that's probably the direction he ran in based on what you guys know of where their camp is up at the hot springs, which is up there. But yeah, you don't actually know where he is. You just figure he ran off into the forests in that general direction, heading north. But yeah, this was sort of the point where you guys had you weren't sure how far you were going to go. Are you going to try and head up through the Dancing Grove to the Fairy Throne again? Are you trying to go to the hot springs, or are you going to cut and go to the Sylvan Temple? Or are you going home? I don't know. You guys are about as far from town as you were when you found the tree houses now, so you have made quite a bit of a journey.
I'm thinking either the hot springs or Sylvan Temple, not going all the way around to the Fairy Throne.
That's not even going around. That's the same as going to the Sylvan Temple. I would actually say that going to the Sylvan Temple is more.
What I
do you
like
want
about the
to?
Sylvan Temple idea is if we decide that we want to cut out the old dwarf door, we can come south to the obelisk and the treehouse and teleport back. So from Silver Temple to Broadwick is not a long journey. I guess from the Fairy Throne to Broadwick is about the same. Each of these waypoints is about a day's travel away, right?
Yeah, about something like that. How far is it? About 6 miles. Yeah. So yeah, possibly actually 2 days, because of the snow. Because you can only travel for 8 hours in a day, and so yeah, you'd probably be able to get there, if you just it would be exhausting, but you'd be able to get in one day unless you camp halfway.
I still
So I'm
think it's
trying
a
to
good
work it
idea.
out. Yeah, I have got a thing. I'll tell you exactly now. Sorry. Okay.
I still think it's a good idea. We should at least do a hit and run on the camp up at the hot springs, just to show that
Yeah,
they're not tolerated here. Their raids.
we want to rescue the other prisoners if we can too.
Yeah.
Now, Johan's father, Elgin, had been talked about. There's this monk that robbed
Yeah.
some
That's
people
why.
and disappeared in a cloud of smoke.
That's why I don't really want them. That's why I want to hit and run them.
Yeah, so sorry, I just checked. It will take a full 24 hours to get to the Sylvan Temple, or to the Fairy Throne, though. You know that there's quite a few rivers in your way in one direction, and the other way, you'd probably have to go through the Dancing Grove, which it's there's stories of getting lost in there, but guys have got pretty good navigation skills.
Dance, magic dance.
Mm,
I think we could just cut out going through the Dancing Grove, stay on this side of the river, and go hit the hot springs, and then to the Sylvan Temple. And there we can decide if we want to go to the Dwarven Door or just straight back to the treehouse and go home.
Yeah, that makes
okay,
sense.
works for me.
Alright, to hot springs then.
Okay, you are still going to be going through the Dancing Grove there, sort of those trees along the river. It's still part of it. The
Oh,
river goes through it, but yeah, you won't be going through the center of it for sure.
okay.
Okay,
So if
so
we
if
stick to the
that's
left of the river, does that? So the Dancing Grove is everything north
It
of where we
expands
are.
just over the river, right?
yeah, it's just those trees
Yeah.
that you can see there over the edge. But yeah, you'd have a harder time if you went through the middle. Going along there, I'll give you advantage on the rolls that will need to be made. Um, but I will first need a navigation check uh, to make sure you figure out how to go along follow that river. I mean, it's pretty easy to follow a river, but Ursula will need that check.
I'll guide the navigator. She might need even more than that.
Can you do guidance on these ones?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Why
It's
not?
an ability check, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so with a 10, you you're not all that confident, as you start following a river, and you hope that it's the river on this map. Um, as yeah, you guys start uh, following up the river. Let's see how many miles it's going to be. Okay, cool. So also 24 hours. to get there. So in your first little stint, I will move you along the river. Is anyone doing anything on this first part of your journey?
We're moving at normal speed, right? Not slow.
It's up to you.
Normal.
You can either, if you're going slow, you can use stealth, but if you're going normal, that's what would be the 24 hours. That's what I was. And then fast, you get a minus to your passive perception and stuff, but you can make it a bit more, make a bit better time.
I say either normal or fast.
I think normal.
It's probably best to go normal.
I'd say, I'd say fast, and I can have Shepard scout ahead, just to get surprise on that once we actually get into combat up there.
Okay, you guys can you and Shepard can give me a perception check as you're going to do your jobs.
Okay, let's add one bardic inspiration to that check. 1d6.
So you're as the entertainer, is that gives you morale save stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, let me check the rolls again.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking you might not need. Oh my god, what dice gods did you guys piss off?
All of them, apparently.
No
Having some bad luck
confidence.
the last few sessions.
Fuck!
Oh my god.
Okay, so as you're hiking, Shepard would sniff out the scent of that ninja, but would not be able to find it. He would keep going up to trees and then barking up into the top of the trees. As
I mean, if it's smell advantage.
sure, for Shepard.
No, we
That
didn't
is
do
the
the
advantage of having a wolf. They're very good at that. Okay, yeah. So he tracks the smell up into the trees, but as you are walking sort of into the dancing grove, like that's where that's kind of what you were missing, is that you were entering it. He will be barking at the trees and just barking and barking, and then the rest of you will instinctively be looking for those ninjas, and then you notice that the trees ahead of you, they seem to be moving in the distance. Like you can see the tops of the trees just slightly moving as they are snow covered, and they're tall, these trees. They're massive, but it seems like there's a whole bunch of them moving in the distance, and you can just see a shadowy figure like in every now and then through the trees, as it seems like there is something gargantuan walking through the forest, but like the top of it is the top of the tree line, so it may just actually be the trees themselves moving. But at this point, Shepard seems upset by it, whatever it is, and he seems to be barking a lot. So, are you guys going to do anything?
Could
Yeah,
I
so
roll? Sorry. Could I roll
that-
either an insight or an animal handling check to see if, like, is Shepard just following the smell, or has he lost? Is he frustrated that he lost the smell, or is just like what's pissing him off?
Yeah, you can give me an animal handling, and Svenja, what do you?
so that history check was to see if she could remember any stories about the Dancing Grove. On a 13.
Okay, with a 13, you know the stories that people often get lost here, and with a 13, you know that drinking alcoholic beverages here are that makes them twice as potent. It is people like to come here to party, and there have been. You've heard Magnus and them have had their stories about going out here and of Codric or whatever his name is playing the drums, and uh, you have heard that people get really drunk here and that they get really lost. So you're not sure if it's because they get so drunk that they get lost, but where you guys are approaching now, you can see that the trees spiral and twist like dancers at play, which is possibly where they get the name from. And their trunks sort of contort into these strange shapes and then uncoil. But you actually see now, as you're getting closer, you all notice that the trees themselves are moving, like they themselves are dancing and never taking the same form twice. It's like you are walking into a maze of trees that is ever changing. And I'm going to need another navigation check as you guys enter this dancing grove.
I'll
I guess
guide
that's
you
why they call
again.
it the dancing grove.
Is
I've rolled a
the tool check wisdom or or intelligence?
Survival. Wait, hang on.
Trying
Let's
to
see.
make it sick, but it's frozen up.
Sorry, Gorm, I misunderstood what you're asking there. The tool check
What's
for what?
Yeah, the navigation check, is it an intelligence or a wisdom based? That's what I was asking.
I think it'd be wisdom.
Think intelligence. Could be wrong.
I've been usually it's survival, but I've been using nature.
Yeah, so that's yeah. I mean, you guys can kind of use the thing that makes sense for your character, the way that you're navigating. There's many different ways of doing that. So yeah, intelligence, nature.
I
Being
got a
really slow right now.
21 for that animal handling check, so do I get a hint?
Yes, with as you're trying to figure out what Shepherd is barking at, and it seems like he is barking at something in the trees, as though he is seeing a creature. But as you look, it's like there's probably small animals in there, but he's barking as though he's. It's kind of similar to how he was barking at the dragon, though you didn't actually see that. But as you're trying to look into the trees and see what he's barking at, you all you see is the trees moving, and then with the 21, you begin to notice that although the trees are shifting and changing themselves, it's like the river is staying in the same place. So it is a thing that you could definitely follow, but there is something moving behind the trees. It seems like it is just as tall as the trees, and it seems to be kind of camouflaged in the treetops. But now, as you get closer, I will ask everyone to give me a perception check as Yormund, you point this out as Shepherd is barking at it, and we'll see if any of you can actually see what's going on here. But I will still need that navigation check. If I missed it, just call out what you.
That is horrifying. Everyone is rolling terribly.
I still can't get it to roll at all. Reloading the thing right now.
Okay, so hang on. This is a visual one, so I should be rolling at advantage for some reason. It didn't, so let's just re-roll it. That's a
Cool.
modified 20.
Okay, Camilla, but I can't believe it's a nat one on this particular check because
I can
you just
explain
can't
you
believe.
why, because I have an idea of what it is. If it is, I just don't
What
want
do
to
you
see
think
it.
it is? Because I think whatever you actually think it is probably what Camilla thinks it is.
It
What
is
do you think it is?
basically like it's something from the what's called Slavic folklore, where it's basically like it's a gentle tree giant, like an ant, and you don't want to piss it off, because if you piss it off, it can leave you like going there for days.
You know, it's so funny because you guys literally walked away from the cave that had a Slavic monster in it. And I like
Ah,
that this is what you think it is, but no, it is absolutely not that. And Ursula, you at this point with those checks, you have led everyone like you lead everyone over some of these gnarled branches as the trees get in your way and sort of block up. And as you are walking through the trees, you all realize you're on the wrong side of the river, uh, and you have just crossed right across.
shit.
But what you guys see, and I'm gonna have to move this back a little bit so it makes.
Svenja and Shepard, maybe Gorm are the only ones.
Well, what you guys see, the ones that if you got above a 13, you will notice that a massive figure is walking behind the trees, and you'll feel the ground shudder like Jurassic Park style as just you kind of hear these slow lumbering, like thumping sounds, like footsteps of something walking and shaking the ground beneath its feet. And then you notice that the trees that seem to be walking behind the tree line, you see them unfurl, revealing this creature as it seems to be walking, and the trees seem to be getting out of its way. You see a giant elk, like this, right the size of the treetops, this gargantuan creature just slowly lumbering its way through the dancing grove.
I was
And
expecting something so much more terrifying.
yeah, you all think this thing's gonna be it's whatever is that big has got to be some sort of horrible giant or something, and then
Carmelo,
you
cast
see the
animal
face of an
friendship.
elk.
Oh.
So say again.
Carmelo, cast animal friendship.
True.
I'm thinking, is she going to try and charm it and ride it?
Yes.
I feel like I have a feeling.
But I'm trying to do.
I don't. I'm not gonna say deific, but it's more than just magical. I think, and maybe shouldn't be fucked with.
Well, can't hurt trying.
It definitely could.
Well,
I definitely would go with it could hurt trying. So not this one, Camilla. We'll help you with the next one.
Too
You
late.
could get stomped trying, and you would be dead immediately.
You see this other thump as it takes another step forward. It seems to be walking quite slow, but because of its size, like you guys walking at full speed would be able to sort of keep up with it. As you can all give me a survival check as you see this creature as well. And Camilla, are you trying to get up close to it or within 30 feet?
Within 30 feet. And not behind it. Not behind it.
That's two,
Yeah,
not one.
it's pretty easy
attack.
to like you see this thing looking up at it. Oh my god.
Fuck fuck this
Gotta be a
dice.
record for the worst rolls.
Fuck these dice. I need to change those dice.
Did you said it
Okay.
was following? Was it? Is it specifically following us, or does it just happen to be passing by, or can we not tell?
No, it's actually ahead of you. It's like walking across in front of you. So it's kind of walking diagonally, like it's going to cross your path, but you are now sort of sandwiched between this beast and the river, as you can see the river curving up ahead of you, and the trees are still moving around. But Svenja, you would be the only one that notices. Oh, yeah, and Gorm, you kind of see it as well, that the trees seem to be moving in concordance with this creature's movement. Like it's where its antlers are is the top of the tree line, and they seem to be parting to make space for the antlers and moving around it. So this creature is walking freely, and the trees are just getting out of its way, and it seems like that might be the safest actual like path to follow without getting blocked by the trees.
Yeah, so gargantuan for me feels like you're asking if it notices us. This is asking if the lion notices the bugs on the ground where it's walking. How tall are these trees? 50, 60, 100 feet? This is an old grove, so I'm guessing we're talking redwood forest type stuff.
Yeah, not quite. These in this area of the forest, they're not like towering into the skies, but yeah, you're looking at least 60 to 80 feet,
Okay,
which is
so
pretty huge. But if yeah, sorry.
No, keep talking.
Well, with it rolled 19 on its wisdom save. So as Carmilla, as you are trying to cast animal friendship on it and trying to kind of tease it over with some food, you realize it is not noticing you at all, as it, you know that it's heard you. You know that this spell, it probably knows that you've tried to charm it, but as Svenja was saying, it's like noticing bugs. It just keeps walking, doesn't even seem to care as you kind of running up alongside it and trying to cast.
Yep. I mean, if it's 60 feet tall at the top of the horns, that's probably 30 feet. That probably means we come up to its knees at best or to its ankles.
Yeah, if you
Picturing
hover
the
over
relative height.
the image, you can see a sort of a scale representation. It's a little bit
Oh,
bigger than it is in the image, but
Yeah.
I try to make it with AI.
It's
So
5 legs.
the trees are getting out of its way. I think that's a really good thing. If the trees are smart enough to get out of its way, we should do the same. Would be what she would whisper to the party. I mean, there is a sort of an undertone of awe in her voice because, I mean, wow, talking about stories to tell people of the elk that you have seen. Um, and
Jordan.
besides, this is one of these tales she knows that people aren't going to believe when she tells them about it. But she's
Yeah, you've heard Magnus tell stories of the Dancing Grove, and none of them ever mentioned an elk. So you're starting to wonder if they were ever here at all, because this thing's hard to miss.
well. I mean, her opinion of Magnus and them is that it's not surprising that they can't find their way out of the Dancing Grove because they can't find their way out of a paper bag. But
Yeah, Yodman is just kind of like keeping an eye on Shepard, just making sure he doesn't think that it's just a big meal for him.
oh, Ursula, that's a good point. Actually, let me just check. I think Svenja might talk Sylvan. Hang on, languages. No.
Well, I will say this is a giant creature, and it is in a section of the forest where you've seen a lot of like dryads, a lot of elvish creatures, there are a lot of languages. Obviously, Sylvan is your best bet, as you said, but you
I
could
mean,
try and speak to it in other languages. And I mean, I know some of you have got other ways to talk to beasts.
I can speak giant if you want to take
Wait
it
a
literally.
second. And now I have the perfect spell.
Do you have speak with
Speak.
animals?
I have speak with Jormund.
I'm going to club you.
I have not speak with Clubberlang because that's too glitchy. But yes,
See, this is why you need magic to help you communicate.
I can speak with animals.
Okay, so yeah, as you sort of tried to charm it, you got the sense that the creature knew you were there and is not immediately hostile. So you uh, you form the speech to, you've spoken with many an elk before, and this one should be no different. It just looks like way bigger. So you have cast that. Are you going to try and say anything? And is anyone else doing anything?
I also cast speak with animals.
Awesome.
Statistically speaking, this is either going to end with Camilla landing in her ass if she gets thrown off the elk, or the elk getting eaten by large cats. And I don't want to see the large cats that eat the size of elk. So I'm not optimistic about the outcome here.
If only you knew how right you were. Uh, so, yeah,
Yes,
the two of you can speak. Is
yes.
just before you guys actually speak to them, is anyone else pulling out to speak with animals or speaking some specific language?
I mean, I'll just say in giant, like, amazing creature, and just that's it.
Okay. Yeah, anyone
So
else
I'll say
speak
in
now or
primordial, how beautiful.
Hola, señor. Estriquado destination.
the elk finally like turns its head just slightly, stopping a little bit, like, why are these humanoids all trying out all the different languages on me? And does notice you, but Yormund and I mean Gorm and Carmilla, you guys are actually able to communicate with it. What are you gonna say?
Okay, so now we know it doesn't speak Goblin. That's a good thing. Maybe. No, it's a bad thing. Well, I've just asked, like, where are you heading?
Nowhere. Where are you heading?
The fairy
The hot-
throne.
I could join you if you need a little guide. Haven't seen human folk round here in a long time.
We're not going to the fairy throne, Carmilla. We're going to the hot springs.
Then maybe not. The rivers are too cold this time of year.
And you see it take another step forward as it starts to move again. And I will move you guys along a little bit as I assume you continue like following it for the at least a little bit. You're still sandwiched between this thing and the river.
Yeah, I'll ask him, have you seen any humanoids covered in black running around?
As I said, not many humanoids round here lately. Perhaps those at the throne could show you, but no Fae have come into the dancing grove that I've seen in the past few days.
This is the most I've seen shepherds have restraint.
I could do fairy throne if we've got the opportunity to walk and talk with the elk, but not that I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, this elk doesn't seem to be like the smartest creature around. It's not. It is responding as a beast, but it kind of knows the creatures that it's seen around the dancing grove in the past few days, and it doesn't seem to have seen any humanoids, and it seems to be missing the fae that it seems to be implying are usually around here. But yeah, it can escort you to the fairy throne and sort of speed up some travel for you there. Otherwise, you will getting into late at night. You'll probably need to make camp just downriver from the hot springs, like basically where you guys are now on the map, as the creature is starting to turn away from the river as the river curls in front of you.
To be fair, if we're already here in this side of the river, we're awfully close, and we might as well.
Yep.
It
I feel like
doesn't
it's
seem like the
important.
most hostile area, and it's not going to be such a big deal.
I feel like it's important to get to the hot springs sooner rather than later, and after we go there, maybe we could go to the fairy throne.
It'll take them a while to move an entire camp, and the only reason I wanted to be gone from the cottage is just in case they send a reaction for us. I don't
So-
think they're going to find us or attack us at the throne.
I doubt if it would take them that long to move.
There are ninjas, I guess. So okay, here's I think what Svenja about this. The one is that we don't have a particular beef with these creatures yet. They've not threatened the village. They're not on any of our go and find out bounty kind of lists. And if we can find out why the elk is saying that he hasn't seen Faye, and by helping the people at the fairy throne, if there's something happening there, we might be able to help them mobilize against these particular outlanders.
think
She's
it's
much more keen on alliances that deal with threats than dealing with threats directly.
Speaking of which, what did you do with the dwarf? Did you send him on his way, or is have you brought him with you?
I think
I thought he came
would
with us.
yeah I'd offer at least for him to come with us to
He's writing German.
shut up. Come with us to, I guess, get revenge.
His brother is still there.
Yeah,
But if
that's
he
cool.
wanted to go his own way, then that's fair enough. If he wants to come with us, like, I wouldn't mind taking him all the way back to Bradovik. He seems fine.
Yeah, that he would either be wanting to head to Bradovik himself because he's like, you guys have done him in solid. He likes the people from Bradovik now, or he would be joining you, as you said, to go and try and help get the other dwarf back because he feels like with you guys, he's got a fighting chance. With the other guy he was with before, he clearly was not interested in starting a fight with
Yeah.
him. He was trying to get away. And then he did try and run away, but when he realized you were winning the fight, he was like, "Oh shit, these guys actually can handle themselves. I'm not going to abandon them." So he's with you, kind of wants to make up for you guys nearly getting killed. Anyway.
I mean, if actually there's someone he cares about at the camp, maybe it might be worth putting a bit of urgency to fighting them first. Maybe going to the throne after.
I mean, if you think that you can get some help from the throne, I I don't think they're going to be making any moves. As I said, they're not
Oh.
killing anybody, so it's. I don't think there's any rush. Though, obviously, sooner the better, of course.
Well, Krista just disconnect. I assume he's restarting his computer. Oh, hello. Good evening.
Hello. You hear us better
Krista,
now?
are you there?
He's having sound issues, so
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we're wrapping up now anyway. So, I just yeah. Last thing, sort of for tonight, is which way are you guys going to be heading? As
I'd
at this
say
point, you're basically going to have to either set up camp or I don't know, try and ride the elk the rest of the way. But there's you've got the choice now. You're kind of midway between the fairy throne and the hot springs, a little bit closer to the hot springs, but with your navigation check so far, you're not sure how far.
I'd say, given that the dwarf is okay with us taking a detour, it's still ambitious to expect, or even I'd say hope for, assistance from the fairies or the fae. At least them joining us, but I wouldn't mind. I'd like to see it just for the sake of having been there, seeing what's happening.
I
They've
still
said
prefer
they're
hot
riding
first,
the
but
elk the
fine.
rest of the way, and that sealed the deal for me. I'm riding the elk the rest of the way. You can go
Ursula.
to somewhere else then if you want.
Ursula, what did you say?
I'd still prefer the hot springs first, but if you all like Fairy Throne better, then that's fine.
Make it go on.
I vote for Springs, but yeah, I'll vote for Springs.
Yeah, I think I'm
Snoozers.
home.
Okay, so we got two for springs, two for
And
fairy throne so far. Is if that's what I'm hearing?
Carmilla. Svenja, did you want to go to the fairy throne? You did,
Svenja
right?
would like to go to Fairy Throne because interesting lore might be magic there. And she realizes Camilla is like a little kid at a fairy ground. If there's an elk riding around in a circle, she'll sit in it the whole day.
Then let's say, then I'd also vote for the throne. So we'll go to the throne, but let's try not to spend too much time there.
Yep.
That sounds fine.
Okay. Mikil, you were the only one I didn't hear from.
We've gone. Want to go to the Springs?
Of course, let's split the vote.
We can go to the Fairy Throne.
Yeah,
It's going to be interesting.
It's just like, oh great, we got 6 people now. This is going to keep happening. But I will say, Mikil, as you guys have gotten to a point now where you're going to need to make camp unless you are like able to ride this creature who looks like it's going to keep walking all day and all night forever. You see that the like branches of its antlers that are up above, after being to the treehouse and stuff like that, you could probably whip up like a couple of uh, like ropes and things to hang yourself off of those like tree branches with, or actually to like saddle up on there. It's big enough to fit all of you. So um how are you guys going to try and ride this elk if that's what you're doing? If you're going to try and, because then you would be able to get to the fairy throne in a much quicker time than actually trying to walk there, or camping and walking to the hot springs. So if you're going to go to the fairy throne with the elk, tell me how you guys are going to try and ride it.
With a fair bit of rope, I have to assume.
We've all got like 50 feet of rope usually.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, maybe not all of you, but most of you. So there's definitely good enough rope. And this creature doesn't seem like hostile at all. So he might allow you to do it.
Well, with permission, of course. Honestly, we could probably literally just hoist a rope around its waist and tie ourselves to the same rope.
Yeah, hammocks.
It might be a bit sketchy, but I'm sure an actual intelligent person with ropes could make it work.
I mean, you could also just sit on the creature. Like its antlers are big enough for you to stand on and just hang on, like quite safely. It's literally like tree branches and thick ones.
Yeah, let's go bareback.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you might want like safety belts. So ropes might not be a bad idea, but it's up to you.
Yeah, probably just a rope to make sure we don't fall off and get left behind at least.
It also
But-
means we can snooze on top.
Mm.
Well then, I'm going to ask Camilla and Gorm. You guys can either both do this or one of you can do it with advantage, but I'll need an animal handling check from you to try and convince this creature to let you ride it or make hammocks or do whatever you want to do. As you can all use some different methods if you want. I'm sure. I'm sure Camilla's got a spot she wants to take.
Yeah, just ask him. Do you mind if you ride your back all the way to the fairy throne?
I wouldn't mind at all. But should I help you on?
As I'll need that check to see if he lets you do this properly.
He said animal handling.
Yeah, so either you can make one each, or one of you can do it with advantage between Camilla and Gorm.
Yeah, I'll give Carmilla advantage.
Oh yeah, and now watch 2 nat ones.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god,
mean,
for
yeah.
once it was a good roll!
The way this night's been going, it's like, well, it's not the most amazing, but well
Take it.
taken. A 19 is enough, as it will stop and like get ready to help you on. But as Camilla, as you're the one actually making the check, what are you going to ask for it to do for you guys? Or what are you going to say to it?
You know what? Since we anyway, I'm just gonna like, god damn it. Oh shit. I just realized. Oh yeah, since Gorm is, I'm just gonna cut Gorm's like wrist just to draw some blood, and from the blood, I'm just gonna form 10 berries with the good berry spell, and then offer this basically to get it down, and then while the others is like what's called climbing on, and then yeah, when it's done, I'm just gonna be the last to climb on. Just
yeah, absolutely. As you see this creature drop down like onto one knee to bring its head all the way down to like try and eat these good berries, you're kind of throwing them into its mouth as it's massive, but as it brings its head all the way down, you see that its antlers just rest down into the snow, like they look like these fallen trees next to you, and everyone has got an opportunity to climb up them. So I will say this won't require a check, you guys, because it's getting a bit late, but um, you are easily able to jump on there, and we'll make checks to see next week if you stay on. But those of you that are using rope and things like that, you can try and secure yourselves, and we'll get to that next week as everyone climbs onto the giant elk. And Carmilla, where are you actually situating yourself on the elk? As I assume everyone else is climbing the antler when it comes down.
I'm just gonna place myself like between the two muzzles, so like just between the two what's called antlers. Yeah, the shoulder blades.
Yeah, so you sit where you would sit if you were riding a regular sized elk, but it's like sitting in a massive bed of fur.
Recliner chair. Oh, it's one of those
Yeah.
massage chairs.
It is absolutely the most comfortable. Like you could curl up here and fall asleep, as everyone has scrambled up onto the elk, and it is going to start making its way towards the fairy throne, where we will pick the game up again next week. Yeah.
Cool. For
Awesome.
the
Oh my
session.
god.